And welcome back. We're talking about Kyle Larson today here on the channel, and been a little bit of a slow start to 2024 for him as far as the sprint car side of things goes. And I've seen a couple of comments here, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube videos, Twitter, things like that, that people are saying, "Man, what is going on right now with Kyle Larson and the 57 car?" And I thought I'd look into a little bit here, and I did notice that it's been a little bit of a rough start to the season for him in that number 57 car. So far this year, Kyle Larson, 7 starts, all of them coming with High Limit Racing. He does have 1 win, 1 top 5, 4 top 10s, 3 dash appearances, and 25 laps led on the season. Those 25 laps coming in that very first race of the year when he got the win at East Bay Raceway Park. Only 3 dash appearances in 7 starts, though that doesn't really seem like something we're used to with Kyle Larson. And so after digging pretty hard through SprintCarRatings.com, I have come to the conclusion that he is definitely in a slump right now. And I think it's definitely interesting to talk about. And we'll get into it more in detail on what would be your guys' right side of this whiteboard, because it's pretty interesting to see what is going on with him right now. And if you compare it to years in the past. And before we get into it, Kyle did say something on the High Limit Room podcast that, potentially there was a video coming about him on my channel. And indeed, that is the case here. So he does know that this video is coming. Hopefully he's okay with it. But let's look at his 7 starts so far this year and see kind of what's been going on. So obviously we mentioned at East Bay, he started on the pole, won the very first race of the year. And then this little column right here is just like a little extra info, like if you don't know what happened to him. So in the extra info for that one, I just put he looked normal. He looked like Kyle Larson that we're used to seeing, leading all the laps from the pole and getting the win. Then in the second race at East Bay, he started 5th. So he had a good starting spot, but didn't even get a chance to really race in that one. He would get involved in a wreck before the green flag even happened. There was a big stack up on the very start of the race. He got spun around, went to the work area, and then got involved in a couple more incidents, would finish in the 26th position. And so, got wrecked before the green flag. So Golden Isle Speedway, the next weekend after that, he started 7th, went backwards, and finished in the 8th position. And under the extra info, I have him just kind of a non-factor in that one. Really wasn't making any crazy moves, wasn't ever in the top 5, wasn't extremely fast. I have him as a non-factor, and the track was certainly tough to pass on, so I will, give him that. I mean, there really was not much passing either night at Golden Isle Speedway, so we'll give him that. But then on the second night, he does pass a couple of cars. He started 12th in that one, and he would finish in the 8th position. I once again put non-factor. When I say non-factor for the win, non-factor for the top 5. The track was better on the second night of Golden Isles. We did have the late models there as well, which helped widen it out, and Kyle Larson able to go +4 in that feature. Texas Motor Speedway dirt track, he started 10th and would end up in 14th, but under the extra info, he got involved in an incident on the very first lap, had to go to the tail. I think he also went to the work area there, came back out, and would finish 14th in the main event. Then for the first race of the Midweek Money Series, which is that series that he was the champion of last year with High Limit. That was at Red Dirt Raceway. He started 9th, and at one point in time, he had fallen all the way back to around 13th or 14th. He would come back to finish in the 6th position, and under the extra info, I've got him falling back to 13th. Also, that battle between him and Rico Abreu. Rico kind of got into him, and Kyle got back into him, so he's kind of messing with Rico for a majority of that race, but would not land inside the top 5, would finish up in 6th. Then the latest race, Riverside International Speedway in West Memphis, Arkansas. He makes the dash. He starts in the 6th position, and he ends up in 23rd. And under the extra info, I have him as very fast, but he got into the turn 1 wall in 3rd or 4th, I think, and then got upside down and would end any bid at a win or a top 5 finish. And so I think that no doubt if he did not hit the wall there, he was definitely going to be top 5 and potentially could have challenged Corey Day for the win. Those two guys were running the exact same line. Corey didn't hit the wall, obviously, and he would go on to win. So Kyle Larson would end up in 23rd. So some extra info as well at the very bottom. So no wins in 6 sprint car races. And I missed a word there, but the last time that happened for Kyle Larson, when he had not won in 6 races in the sprint car, was 2021, when he also went 6 races without a feature win. Then in that year, the 7th race, he would actually win. It was a fast series race. It wasn't like he won with the All-Stars or won with the Outlaws. He won with fast, which is not the great. I mean, it's nothing like the Outlaws. It's nothing like High Limit. Nothing like the All-Stars. but he would win it with Fast. And then the next race after that, I believe he did get a win with the Outlaws. So that win streak, or the loss streak, I should say, was at 6 races in 2021. That's not the only time that he hasn't won 6 times in a row. It's happened throughout his career a few times, but that was the latest example of it happening 3 years ago. This is the one that is a little bit crazier to me. So he's got no top 5s for 6 races in a row. The only time that has happened that I could find on sprintcarratings.com, and that is going back in their database all the way back to 2013 or 14. It only happened at the end of 2018. He had like 2 races where he finished outside the top 5. And then the next year, when the season started in 2019, he missed the top 5 in 4 races. And that was, so he's never had 6 races outside the top 5 in a row in one like single year, like not in 2023, not only in 2018. The only time it's happened is between the end of 2018 and the beginning of 2019, where he was outside the top 5 in 6 straight races, which is pretty crazy. And now when we get to this side of the board, it really breaks it down and shows you just how competitive, just how good he has been. And let's get right into that right now. So 2015, not very many 410 races at all for him that year. Only 4 winged 410 races. He did get a win and 2 top 5s. And the number in the parentheses is how many races he went in between top 5s, which is kind of what the basis of this video is all about. 2016, so in 2015, it was just 1. There was only 4 races. 2016, he has 14 races, 3 wins, and 9 top 5s. He would only go 2 in a row without finishing inside the top 5. 2017, 15 races, 7 wins, 12 top 5s, and he would go 2 races again in a row without a top 5 during that entire year. 2018, 25 races, and as you'll see, these numbers, as far as the amount of races, starts to gradually go up a little bit here. So 25 races, 5 wins, 17 top 5s, and once again goes 2 races without a top 5 finish. And in 2019, that's 2 races in a row. 2019, 24 races, 4 wins, 12 top 5s, and this time he would go 4 races in a row without getting a top 5 during that season. Then in 2020, that big not breakout year, we already knew he was fast, but that year where he literally was like winning every single race on the entire planet, 68 races, 32 wins, 52 top 5s, and in 2020, he would have a stretch where he went 4 races without finishing in the top 5 in a row. 2021, 26 races, 11 wins, 18 top 5s, and he dropped that number back down to 3 races in a row at one point in time throughout the season where he was not inside the top 5. 2022, 28 races, 7 wins, 16 top 5s, and once again, that number is 3. In 2023, pretty impressive, 28 races, 10 wins, 22 top 5s, and he would only go 1 race in a row, I guess if you can call it in a row, but 1 race without finishing inside the top 5, which is pretty impressive. But then you look at 2024. This is what I'm talking about. 7 races, 1 win, 1 top 5, and he is sitting at 6 races in a row without finishing inside the top 5. So who knows how long this goes on for. The next race is at 81 Speedway on Wednesday with the Midweek Money Series with High Limit Racing. Kyle Larson will be there. He has won there before with the All-Star Circuit of Champions. So we'll see if he can break out of the streak right now of no top 5s and no wins. Because if it goes to 7 races without a win, that would tie this number, right? Or this would break the number from 2021 without a win in 7 races. And then if he goes to the 7th race, I'd have to go back and look in the history books and see when the last time he went 7 races in a sprint car without a top 5, because it does not happen very often for Kyle Larson. Now, you might be asking, well, what's the deal? Why is this happening? I have no idea. I think that Kyle Larson did not forget how to drive, right? He knows how to go fast. He knows what he's doing. I don't know, maybe the competition with High Limit Racing, we know how tough it is. We've heard a lot of people say that, it's tougher to win with the Outlaws, but it might be tougher to run top 10 against High Limit just because that roster is so deep and all those guys are so good throughout the field. Not sure if that's it. Maybe the car's off a little bit right now. I'm not really sure, but it's definitely an interesting thing to keep an eye on. So Kyle Larson heading into 81 Speedway, looking to break a 6-race streak of no top 5 finishes in a row. We'll see if he can do it. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you found this slightly interesting a little bit. So we'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the like button. It is free to do those things. And comment down below, do you think Kyle Larson will break that top 5 streak at 81 Speedway on Wednesday night? Let me know down in the comments section below. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.